The thing that eats the most time in my one-person content machine, hands down, is the editing process itself. I used to spend what felt like forever just chopping podcast episodes and long-form videos down into all the necessary shareable micro-content. To be completely honest, I seriously considered giving away a big chunk of my hard-earned budget to hire an actual editor before I stopped myself. However, before making that financial commitment, I started using Vizard, and trust me, it fundamentally changed my entire post-production workflow for the better. Now, I can go from the initial recording of a lengthy 60 to 90-minute video podcast to having a fully polished YouTube upload and a Spotify-ready audio file in under 2 hours total. It's wild because I am still doing everything myself, yet the actual editing part usually takes me less than an hour most days, which leaves ample room for thumbnails and captions. I launched my tech show last year, and we've actually been growing steadily in a very healthy way ever since we started publishing. The crucial factor in that growth was that my audio downloads kept climbing and the channel picked up views because I could finally publish with genuine consistency. The only feasible way I managed to keep up that necessary publication cadence was by completely automating the most tedious parts of the grind. I previously had to juggle this messy, expensive stack of separate tools. One app to record, another dedicated app just to trim the audio, and a different one to find highlights. That system worked, sure, but it was incredibly slow and constantly burned through my budget unnecessarily. Vizard thankfully stitched all of those complicated separate steps into one single, creator-friendly pipeline for me right from the start. Furthermore, it cleverly added a few smart features that honestly feel like having a junior editor on my team who never needs a break. So, here's the precise process for how I run a whole episode using Vizard and why this streamlined system saves me so much precious time every single week. First thing after I finish recording, I never manually scrub through the whole timeline looking for filler words or awkward pauses. I immediately hit the smart trim button. This feature is essentially Vizard scanning the transcript and the audio waveform simultaneously to call out things like small talk, non-value pauses, and obvious stumbles you made. It then suggests very specific cut points, and even offers a quick explanation for why it thinks each segment might be unnecessary to keep in the final product. I can preview every single suggested cut, hit apply on the ones I agree with, and suddenly, minutes of unwanted fluff are gone without any painful manual timeline adjustments. Next up, I engage two powerful functions designed to tighten the presentation: pace control and the filler filter. Pace control is excellent because it collapses all those dead air moments, the long silences that make podcasts feel unnecessarily slow, for a much tighter listening experience. For my full episode-length edits, I generally select a balanced setting, which effectively removes the long pauses without chopping up the natural conversational rhythm between speakers. However, if I am making a very punchy 60-second clip specifically for Instagram or TikTok, I crank the pace control setting to aggressive to keep the energy level impossibly high throughout. The filler filter then diligently goes through the whole project and mutes those common filler words like and along with any weird mouth noises. The output you end up with is incredibly clean, broadcast-ready audio that still sounds completely natural to the audience. If you are recording with a co-host or have multiple people speaking on different microphones, the automatic silence guard feature is an absolute game changer for audio integrity. This tool cleverly mutes the background noise specifically on those inactive tracks when a person isn't speaking, meaning desk tapping or fan noise won't bleed under the main voice. Even with all that automation happening, Vizard wisely lets you open up the individual tracks if you want to fine-tune the edit points and precisely adjust what stays and what is deleted. That level of granular control over noisy tracks, without having to use separate manual noise reduction software, is genuinely a rare and valuable feature. One of my favorite personal time savers in this entire platform is the remarkably accurate automatic chapter marker generation. Vizard auto-generates these chapters directly from the transcript and places them logically onto the timeline, allowing me to jump straight to any topic of interest instantly. Want to quickly pull a clip focusing on a specific segment? You just click the relevant chapter marker, do a quick trim, and export that segment immediately. If you ever need to delete an entire section of the conversation, you just delete the chapter marker, and the associated audio and video sections are removed in tandem. You also maintain full creative control to add your own custom chapters anywhere you need them for maximum navigation flexibility. There is a handy copy to clipboard option that lets you instantly grab the entire chapter list for pasting into your YouTube description or your podcast show notes. Multicam editing used to be an absolute hassle involving lining up all the visual cuts and constantly switching focus between different speakers on the timeline. Vizard's AutoFocus feature does a tremendous amount of that complex heavy lifting by recognizing active speakers and automatically centering the frame on the person talking. The result is a polished, professional-looking multicam edit that typically requires a much more advanced editor or a ton of manual timeline manipulation. If you want to make your main episode much more engaging visually for viewers, utilize the incredibly helpful built-in B-roll finder tool. Instead of wasting hours hunting through 5 different public stock libraries for the perfect royalty-free clip, I simply search keywords inside Vizard and see results populate immediately. After picking a clip, I drop it directly onto the timeline and adjust its volume right there within the main editing environment without switching windows. You can layer multiple B-roll clips on top of each other, drop in still images for emphasis, and add text overlays for names or critical links all at once. For creators who really aren't professional video editors, the ability to search and place B-roll directly from the editor is a massive time-saving shortcut. Editing within the Vizard interface genuinely starts to feel a lot like editing a simple document you might be writing in a word processor. The transcript truly acts as your timeline. You select the text you want to change, hit delete to remove that entire chunk of media, or cut and paste sections to easily reorder the narrative flow. I literally rearrange major segments of the video, just like I am quickly editing sentences in a simple blog post draft. That fundamental simplicity means I can dive in and tweak things granularly when I want to, or I can simply let the core AI handle the bulk of the tedious heavy lifting. Ensuring brand consistency across every single output, your intro, captions, watermarks, and color treatment is another consistent pain point for content creators. Vizard elegantly solves this problem with a built-in brand kit feature where I store my logo, a default background image, my preferred caption style, and an intro clip Once I apply that saved brand configuration, Vizard automatically applies the necessary animated captions, the background, and the required intro across the entire edit in seconds. That single application saves an enormous amount of repetitive manual work, and the resulting output looks perfectly consistent across every episode I publish. Exporting the finished product is completely trivial, because I can directly export a 4K video file for YouTube and a high-quality MP3 audio file for my podcast host in the same step. There are absolutely no awkward transcoding steps or the need to perform separate audio renders, which used to slow everything down significantly. But the real honest-to-goodness game changer that makes this whole system worth it is the unified, one-click workflow enabled by the Episode Builder. I set up an Episode Builder preset once, detailing my ideal brand kit application, the pace control level, filler filter settings, and preferred aspect ratios. Then every single time I upload a new recording, I just select that saved preset and click the big generate button to start the entire automated chain reaction. Vizard diligently applies every single preference automatically and spits out a fully edited base version that is ready for my final lookover. I usually just skim through that automatically generated cut, maybe tweak a few minor micro edits if I feel they are necessary, and then I immediately mark the editing phase as complete. That one simple button press shaves off what feels like hours and hours from my overall production process every single week, which is incredible. And if your strategy involves heavy content repurposing, the Magic Clips feature, which Vizard brands as viral clips, is genuinely next level functionality. You simply tell the tool exactly how long you want the clips to be, which speaker to prioritize for the main focus, and the general style you are aiming for, then you hit generate. Vizard automatically scans the entire recording for high engagement moments, emotional spikes in the conversation, and any strong conversational hooks scattered throughout the timeline. It then immediately spits out multiple vertical ready videos that are perfectly formatted for short-form platforms like TikTok and Reels right out of the box. I use those generated short clips constantly because literally every single short video I have posted on my channel practically came from Vizard's viral clips generator. Now, I have to be fair and mention that other great platforms out there, such as Riverside, are excellent for the initial recording process and offer some editing tools. However, a lot of those services still expect the creator to manually handle the complicated process of clip generation, scheduling across platforms, and final publishing steps. Those other services can also quickly get quite pricey when you start needing higher quality exports or more advanced features for your overall system. Vizard is intentionally designed to be the perfect middle ground between those extremes, or better yet, the true one-stop shop for everything you need. The feature that truly makes Vizard stand out for me personally is the powerful combination of auto-editing viral clips, auto-schedule, and the integrated content calendar dashboard. The auto-schedule capability means I never have to babysit the system or worry about exact posting times because I set the desired cadence once, and the AI handles the scheduling automatically. The content calendar is fantastic because I can view everything scheduled in a single dashboard, easily edit captions, shuffle post dates around, and publish directly from that one central location. That level of true end-to-end automation across the entire journey from recording to audience reach is remarkably rare in the creator space today. So yes, Vizard is clearly much more than just another video editor. It functions as a powerful workflow engine that fully automates all the boring, repetitive administrative parts of the job. This automation allows you to focus your limited time and creative energy where it matters most, on making great conversations happen faster than ever before. You can absolutely still dive deep and manually tweak absolutely everything if you want that granular level of control over the final product. But if you are a solo creator who is genuinely trying to maintain consistent output without completely burning out, Vizard honestly feels like having an editor on a very strict budget. To be clear, it doesn't pretend to replace your unique human creativity or vision, but it excels at getting all the mechanical, time-consuming groundwork out of your way. If you are currently sitting on the fence about whether or not you should hire someone, I strongly suggest you try automating your entire workflow first. Start by using Smart Trim to effortlessly cut out all the unnecessary fluff from your raw audio and video takes. Then, employ Pace Control to tighten up the overall timing and pacing of your final listening experience for maximum impact. Next, use the filler, filter, and the silence guard features to instantly fix most of the common audio quality problems right in the editor. Let AutoFocus work its magic to give your footage that beautiful, professional-looking multicam polish without the need for tedious manual timeline work. Seamlessly leverage the B-roll finder to integrate supporting visuals right inside the main editing timeline instead of using external sites. Apply the brand kit religiously to ensure perfect visual consistency across every single piece of content you publish for your audience. Finally, use the episode builder to transform your entire production into a single, satisfying button-click process from start to finish. After that base edit is done, let the viral clips generator, combined with AutoSchedule and the content calendar, handle the entire complex distribution pipeline for you automatically. You will genuinely be surprised by how many hours you manage to get back in your week just by implementing this intentional setup over the next month. If you are interested in seeing my full, detailed step-by-step flow, how I record, apply the episode builder, generate the viral clips, and schedule everything, please drop a comment below. I will personally walk you through my exact settings and the intentional initial setup that makes this whole system function so efficiently every single time. There is absolutely no need for a fancy production team to achieve this level of output. It is all accomplished with Vizard and a little bit of smart, intentional configuration. The ultimate bottom line remains, You can either keep hiring external editors and patching together a dozen different software tools, or you can consolidate and truly automate the process. For my business, Vizard has made consistent publishing realistic and kept my creative energy focused where it absolutely matters, making great conversations. More importantly, it helps me package those conversations so that people actually want to watch and engage with the final product across all platforms. I wholeheartedly encourage you to give this automated workflow a serious try and see if it manages to shave hours off your weekly schedule just like it did for me when I first adopted it.